Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Global Impact Podcast. I'm your host, Ali Mehdaoui, and today's episode is one of the ones that I think every single human being on the planet needs to hear right now. Because we are living in a world where people are exhausted, but pretending they are okay. Connected online, but disconnected emotionally. Busy every single day, but rarely checking in with themselves. And today we're slowing things down, not because slowing down means weakness, but because slowing down long enough to understand yourself might actually be one of the strongest things that you can do. This episode is about support systems. It's about stress. It's about healing. It's about habits. It's about growth. And most importantly, it's about becoming honest with yourself. So whenever you're watching from YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, social media, I want you to lock in with me today. And throughout this episode, I want you to participate. Drop your thoughts in the comments, answer the questions, challenge yourself a little bit, because this isn't just content. This is reflection. And if you or someone you love is looking for support or resources, mental health services, counseling, coaching, or guidance, make sure you visit globalimpactwellness.com. That is globalimpactwellness.com. Let's get into it. Segment 1, weekly reflection. Who really supports you? Let me ask you a serious question right now and right off the gate. Who actually supports you? No, really, tag him. Put it in the comment. Not who likes you and your posts, not who watches your stories, not who says, I got you once every 6 months. Who genuinely supports you emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially, or physically when life gets difficult? And here's the second question that is even harder. Are you allowing yourself to receive support? Because some people don't reject help because help isn't available. They reject it because they've been disappointed so many times that they stop trusting support altogether. And that creates isolation. Now, here's something interesting. According to multiple mental health studies, social isolation has been linked to increased risks of anxiety, depression, cardiovascular disease, substance abuse, and even shortened life expectancy. Think about that. Human beings are biologically wired for connection. That's why loneliness can physically hurt. And today, we are seeing a massive increase in emotional isolation. People are surrounded by followers, but starving for real conversations. Surrounded by noise, but emotionally unheard. Drop a comment below right now. Do you think society is being more emotionally disconnected? Yes or no? And another question. When was the last time you asked someone for help? Not advice, not a meme, not a motivational quote. Real help. Because strength is not pretending you don't need support. Strength is recognizing when you actually do. And speaking of growth and emotional development, let's talk about something people massively underestimate: daily habits. Segment 2, daily habits. Your life is built in the small moments. Most people think transformation happens in one giant moment, one speech, one seminar, one breakthrough, one lucky opportunity. But real change usually happens quietly. It happens in the small habits that nobody claps for. Getting enough sleep, drinking more water, going to therapy consistently, taking medication properly if prescribed, going for walks, turning your phone off earlier, learning emotional regulation, journaling, praying, meditating, checking your thoughts. See, the problem, people that they want overnight healing in a society that profits from instant gratification. But neuroscience actually shows that repeated behaviors literally help reshape neural pathways in the brain over time, meaning your habits can slowly change how your brain responds to stress, fear, and emotion. Now that's powerful. So let me ask you this. What is one habit you know would improve your life if you committed to it consistently for the next 90 days? Drop it in the comments and be honest, because sometimes the biggest breakthrough in your life isn't a giant leap, it's finally mastering consistency. Segment 3. Small changes start before you feel ready. You know what stops most people? They think the beginning has to look perfect, but healing does not start perfectly. Growth does not start perfectly. Recovery does not start perfectly. Most people don't realize that small changes compound over time, and one healthier decision becomes two. Two becomes momentum. Momentum becomes transformation. And the scary part, a lot of people delay their healing because they're waiting to feel motivated first. But motivation usually follows movements, not the other way around. You start first, then momentum shows up. Maybe for somebody listening today, your first step is finally making the therapy appointment. Maybe it's apologizing to someone. Maybe it's cutting off toxic environments. Maybe it's admitting you're overwhelmed. And maybe for some people watching this, the first step is simply acknowledging I'm not okay right now. And there's courage in that. Now, let's get deeply personal for a second, because we live in a culture that praising productivity but ignores emotional exhaustion. Segment 4, check in with yourself. How are you? No, really, how are you? When someone asks you how you're doing, what do you usually say? I'm good. I'm fine. Or busy. But are you actually okay? Or are you surviving on autopilots? Because burnout does not always look dramatic. Sometimes burnout looks like emotional numbness, irritability, disconnection, mental fog, lack of motivation, sleep problems, anxiety. According to workplace mental health studies, chronic stress and burnout have dramatically increased over the last several years, especially among working adults, parents, caregivers, entrepreneurs, and healthcare workers. And social media makes it worse, because now people compare their behind the scenes struggles to everybody else's highlight reel. So here's today's challenge. I want everybody listening to do a real emotional check-in right now. Ask yourself, am I feeling okay? What's draining me? What's helping me? What have I been avoiding emotionally? And here's the big one. Who do I become when I'm overwhelmed? That answer can change your life forever. Because me, I turn into an angry monster sometimes, and that's not okay. Segment 5, long-term stress. Your body keeps the score. Stress is one of the most normalized unhealthy conditions in modern society. People brag about being stressed, wear exhaustion like a badge of honor, act like rest is laziness, but chronic stress impacts the mind and the body. Research has linked long-term unmanaged stress to increased risks involving blood pressure, sleep disorder, weakened immune responses, depression, anxiety, digestive issues, and emotional dysregulation. And here's the dangerous part. Stress accumulates silently. You may think you're handling it because you're functioning, but functioning and healing are not the same thing. Some people are highly functional while emotionally drowning internally, and eventually the body responds. That's why stress management isn't optional. It's maintenance, and maintenance is maturity. Drop a comment below. What stresses people out the most in 2026? Money, relationships, politics, social media, pretending, loneliness, career pressure? I genuinely want to know. Segment 6, growth takes time, so stop rushing your healing. One of the biggest lies people believe is this: I should be over this by now. But healing isn't linear. Some days you feel strong, some days old emotions return, some days you feel like you made a huge progress, other days feel heavy again. That does not mean you failed. It means you're human. Growth happens in layers, and sometimes this reveals wounds that you didn't even know existed until later seasons of life. That's why patience matters. Not passive patience, intentional patience. The type of patience that says, I'm committed to becoming healthier, even if it takes time. And honestly, in today's culture and the idea of everything being instant, it slows healing and it feels uncomfortable, but sustainable growth usually is slow. Trees don't grow overnight. Trust doesn't build overnight. Emotional stability does not build overnight. So why do we expect ourselves to heal overnight? Segment 7, monthly reflection. What needs to change next month? As we prepare for a new month, I want everybody watching to pause before rushing into the next cycle because reflection creates awareness and awareness creates growth. So ask yourself honestly, what worked for me this month? What drained me this month? What habits helped me? What relationships helped me? What environments hurt my peace? And most importantly, what version of myself do I want to become next month? Because life changes slowly until suddenly it changes all at once. And sometimes those transformations begin with one honest moment of reflection. So, in closing, to everybody listening today, thank you for spending this time with us. Mental health conversations matter, emotional wellness matters, healing matters, support systems matter. And no matter where you are in your journey right now, please understand this: you do not have to navigate life alone. If you or someone you love is looking for support, counseling, mental health resources, behavioral health services, coaching, or guidance, visit our partners, globalimpactwellness.com. That is globalimpactwellness.com. And before you go, make sure that you like this. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, share this episode, and drop a comment below answering this question. What's one of the things that you need to improve on emotionally before next month begins? This is the Global Impact Podcast. I'm Ali Mehdaoui. And remember, healing is not weakness. Self-awareness is not weakness. Asking for help is not weakness. Sometimes those are the strongest decisions a person can make. I'll see you next time.
At Global Impact Wellness Group, we believe healthcare should be accessible, affordable, and compassionate. Welcome to Global Impact Wellness Group, a trusted provider of nationwide telehealth services. We are a licensed mental health organization dedicated to the care, rehabilitation, and well-being of children, adolescents, adults, and families. Our virtual care platform brings mental health counseling, urgent care, primary care, telepsychiatry, and even pet telemedicine directly to your home. All sessions are secure, confidential, and fully HIPAA compliant. Why choose us? Nationwide access, affordable monthly plans with no hidden fees, and a holistic approach to mental, physical, and emotional wellness for individuals, families, and even pets. Get the care you deserve, anywhere, anytime. Visit globalimpactwellness.com today.